Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Doomsday Clock, issue number 9. Man, genuinely, most of what happened before this is a blank. Most of it because it just took forever. I mentioned in my This Week in Comics, 11/22, 2017 is when issue number 1 of this came out. And I'm telling you right now, if it weren't for all the stupid delays that just, whatever, these things happen, this would have been an amazing story. If you're reading these issue by issue, you probably got a lot of the same exact problems that I have. It is what it is, man. But for those of you who much later on get the opportunity to read the trade paperbacks first, I kind of envy you. All right, that being said, Jeff Johns is the writer, Gary Frank is the illustrator, Brad Anderson is on colors, Rob Lay on letters. Back matter design, Anne Brockway Metcalf, and cover and variant cover, Gary Frank and Brad Anderson. All right, dude. Oh, and Watchmen were created by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. I like that they did that. Okay, so this very first page shows a whole lot of alternate history. In fact, it's not just the first page. The first page is insane with all that they're showing. But there's a few pages in here where Dr. Manhattan is just going over multiple different storylines, multiple different timelines, and it's kind of freaking freaky. Wow. Just that page alone, if they would have just given us that page alone as a preview, I don't think anybody would not buy the comic book. That right there was insane. Seeing all of the heroes sans Superman going forward to try and take out Dr. Manhattan. At first, the fight is very much like a Bruce Lee fight. He's got all these bad guys surrounding him, and you're thinking, if they'd all just rush him, they'd win. Eventually, they figure that out, but first, they're sending 1 or 2 guys forward at a time, one group at a time, and it's like, okay, I just developed some weapons, let's go in and kick his butt. Dude, y'all gotta go at the same time. But either way, it was very entertaining. The first half of this fight was nothing but a bunch of once thought of badasses all trying to go after Slade Wilson in the Infinity Crisis. It's funny that this issue is called Crisis, because that's exactly what the first half of this comic book felt like. All these guys individually trying to take down Deathstroke, but Deathstroke just being like, yeah, no, I'm Uber, you're regular. It was badass, man. But towards the end, yep, it was cool. It was cool. There's a lot of things said, however, that are really important. Yeah. Dr. Manhattan is one of those characters where you like how ridiculously powerful he is, but at the same time, it is the DC universe, where it's like these guys were already gods, you know? Even Green Arrow is oftentimes associated with the gods, Artemis in this particular case. All of them. So seeing a god more powerful than a god, more powerful than other gods, for me, it didn't quite do too much, but it's issue 9. It's about time we had something like this. So the whole thing was welcome to me, the entire thing. If this would have happened earlier in the series, I think it would have, I don't know. Actually, I do know. It would have sucked. I think the most annoying part of this story is actually the Lois Lane and Lex Luthor conversation. Superman is hurt. We're eventually going to get to Superman versus Doomsday. Might as well be Doomsday, especially with Guy Gardner there. But against Dr. Manhattan. We're going to get that later on because it's already been predicted by Dr. Manhattan. So I'm looking forward to that. In the meantime, this scene right here, really annoying. This is one of those, I'm not a huge, Lois, I'm used to Lois Lane being written as a really strong character. Sometimes she's written as too ridiculous to pay attention to, like what's currently going on in the Superman and Action Comics line. But I'm used to her being strong. Someone who is in a place of weakness and does not find a place of strength until there's a gun in your hand. Sorry, I've grown up with the sense that a gun is a false sense of security. I just grown up. I didn't necessarily grow up my entire life with guns, but Yeah, I've grown up with guns, all right, especially in the military. I've grown up with guns. At the same time, a gun, like any weapon, is just an extension of yourself. And if you don't know how to use it, it is what it is. We know that Lois knows how to use a gun, but at the same time, she was weak and scared until she had a gun that her enemy gave her, and she didn't even check to see if they were blanks or not. That right there is pure, unadulterated weakness to me. And I hated seeing Lois like that. That was infuriating to me. It's those little things, man. It's those nuances where you try and write something cool and just Anyway, maybe it passed right over a bunch of people. I don't know, but that for me, nope, can't. Got to pay attention to that. The ending of this, the ultimate ending of this was kind of as expected. The Martin Stein situation, we rewriting something here. I'm hoping that's not really going to be the case. If it is going to be the case, well, Jeff Johns will be a butthead if he doesn't turn around and start writing a Firestorm comic book. That's all I gotta. That's the only place I can go with this from this point on. If he does not write a Firestorm comic where all of this is rectified, I'm gonna be infuriated if it doesn't get fixed or fixed in the pages of Doomsday Clock. Not acceptable, dude. Anyway, excuse me. I'm not a fan of the delays. I'm simply not. It bothers me to no end. But at the same time, the artwork in here, the dedication to an incredible story, it's got to be praised. The only thing I can say is time management, bruh. You know what I'm saying? In the Army, this would be no exception. I would never, ever, none of us would ever be forgiven for these kinds of delays in the military. We would still be expected to put out the best that we can, but we'd be attacked for our time management skills. And I cannot allow something like that to go in my head. All right, amazing comic book, beautiful, beautifully written, beautifully drawn. Everything in this, these people are all artists to the extreme. But damn it, y'all need to get better time management skills. I would have much preferred that this whole entire series be delayed a year so that each issue didn't have to be delayed the way it is. Dude, November 22nd of 2017 is when issue 1 dropped. It is now the 6th of March 2019, and we still got 3 more issues to go. All I'm saying is a generational comic book should not mean that I have grandchildren while I'm waiting for the next issue. Guys, that's going to be it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.